Welcome, Sisters of the Longmont Steak. In the spirit of simplicity, not complexity, I am going to teach a class on how to obtain, simple ways to obtain and store food. First thing that you want to do is identify the non-perishable items that you would want to store. You can do this by looking at your grocery list, looking in your food pantry, and at your favorite recipes to find out which food you actually use. You can go to the store and make a list of the prices so that you know what they cost. That will help you to determine later which source of food buying is best for any particular item. You may want to include prices not just of food, but things like toilet paper and different laundry soaps and baking powder, baking soda, canned meats. That can be really helpful for food storage, such as canned tuna or canned chicken. And then keep track of the sale prices so that you then know which, if the sale prices are the best source of food. Identify bulk items that you need as well. You may want to store bulk items in bulk in buckets such as rice, wheat, oats, and beans. And you can also use food buying clubs, which give you large portions of food. And if that is the cheapest price per ounce or per pound, then that could be really useful as well. Amazon items may be also ordered, and then they can be delivered to you on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. And this will give you a 5% discount. So if you find a food item on Amazon, you will not have to go to the store to buy it, and you will receive a discount. The more items that you buy from Amazon, the greater the discount that you will receive. They have a variety of food on Amazon. Non-perishable items such as rice in 10-pound bags, cooking oils, canned foods, nut butters, yeast, a variety of flours, etc. Amazon also has dehydrated refried beans, but I haven't tried them. Check the price list and make sure the Amazon price is cheaper than the grocery store, and avoid paying shipping on Amazon. As far as looking for sources of food for bulk items, the two local places that I know of that sell food in bulk are natural grocers, and this is the least expensive resource that I know of. Most of the food comes in 25 pounds or 50-pound bags. They have just about anything you can think of, just about any grain. They have beans, baking powder. They have things that are usual and things that are unusual. They have organic and non-organic. They have gluten-free. They have been having some internal system difficulties and some communication issues with their suppliers, and they have promised me that they are fixing them. And so hopefully that system will get working better and they will be a reliable source. The other source for bulk food is Simply Bulk, which is a grocery store that's on Main Street. It's a little store. This store is more expensive. They have any bulk item that you can think of, and they are dependable. It takes about a week to get your order. They have different things. They have high gluten flour. They have powdered hummus, powdered refried beans, if you missed that from the old cannery days. But they definitely have any grain or bean that you would need. A whole variety of rices. Another source is freeze-dried food. There are companies such as Thrive and Mountain House, and that's great to have freeze-dried meats. They don't take up very much space, and they're easy to store. And you can also get fully made meals such as beef stroganoff that's been freeze-dried. I did go on the Mountain House website, and they seem to be a little low on their supply at this time, but that is an option. I also recently found that you can get dehydrated foods on Amazon. So I just got these mushrooms in the mail. I haven't tried them yet, but that's another idea that you could look at. As far as storing your bulk items, such as grains and beans, you'll need to get these 5-pound buckets. The cheapest source I have found for 5-pound buckets is Home Depot. They are often out of stock of their 5-pound buckets, but they're only $4.76 a piece. You can tell that they are food grade because it says food grade here, and there's a fork and a knife and a spoon right here. You don't want to get the paint buckets. They would be bad for your food. So what I do when I need buckets is I look online to see if they have buckets in stock at Home Depot. If they don't, then I just wait until they do, because the source is so much cheaper than other sources that I found. I also have had difficulty finding the lids, the food safe lids for food storage for the buckets, so I've ordered these on Amazon. Home Depot does have them, so maybe you would get lucky and you would be able to find the bucket lids that you need at Home Depot. Okay, as far as storing the food in the buckets, one thing you can do is take these 500cc oxygen absorbers, take 4 of them and put them in a bucket when the bucket is full of food. Put the lid on, put these in, put the lid on, and then seal the lid with a mallet. You want to make sure that you get those oxygen absorbers sealed inside very quickly, because they will use up their capacity in storing up the oxygen in the room. Okay, I'm also going to put in my email to Sister Doak a link for the dry ice method if you want to store your food using dry ice. This link also contains a lot of explanation about different bucket lids, so if that's an interest to you, you may also find that information there. Now, when we used to have food storage classes back in the day, we would get these lists of different possible food storage items with their shelf lives. We don't do that anymore. It's not necessary. Just get out your phone, put in the food item and shelf life, and it will tell you how long it will last. When you get your food items, your jars of jam, your peanut butter, your cans of tomato soup, whatever it is that you are storing, just make sure you put the expiration date on each can and then rotate. I find that it's easiest to rotate my food by going from left to right. I take from the left of the shelf and I load on the right side. And that way I can keep the oldest food closest to where I'm going to be taking it, and make sure that the older food gets used up less, so there is no waste. As far as bag storage, a lot of food storage is stored in Mylar bags. Some of the things I have are in plastic bags, and it's important to put those in like a plastic container so that mice and vermin cannot get to them. Now I just want to talk to you about a few mistakes that I have made in food storage that have taught me a lot. One of them is buying food that we don't normally use, thinking that if we were in a pinch, I'd pull it out and use it. Well, we never wanted to eat that food, and it expired and I had to throw it away. The second is leaving food on shelves that are in bags and not in plastic. This was very inconvenient because mice got into that food and we had quite a mess to clean up. I have a friend that had peanut butter stored in Mylar bags and a rat got into it, which was very unpleasant. Another thing is storing food that we are allergic to. Of course, when we bought it, we didn't know that we would later develop food sensitivities to it. But just the whole idea that you're getting food that you're really going to use. Another mistake we made was storing buckets on a cement floor. I started doing this, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years before I found out that you weren't supposed to do this. And I did not understand that the chemicals from the cement can come up and affect the food. So my daughter tried eating food from food that had been stored that way, and she got pretty sick. So I'm a believer in not storing buckets on a cement floor. It's great to store them on a shelf. If you don't have that, one thing you can do is just get boards. And 2 boards are recommended, but I think even if you had 1, it would be okay. You want to put some space in between the 2 boards and set the buckets on top. And that gives lots of airflow to the buckets. Well, that's all I have for today. Hopefully this class has been useful. Have a good day.